And thanks a lot, Julie. Well, many of us like to stay fit, going to the gym or working out at the house, and we're always looking for new ways to change up our fitness routine. With us, as always, is our 2 News fitness expert, Wes Cole, to answer our fitness questions. Good morning to you, Wes.
Good morning.
Got some great questions out there this morning. First question, this comes from Debbie. She's asking, I've been watching you for a while and can do squats off a low chair pretty easy now. Is there any harder squat that I can try? And this is definitely an exercise that most people need to get into if they're able to.
Well, and there's a progression too, and we've talked a lot about the chair squats. I think that's one of the best ways, but there's a progression, and it's called a goblet squat. Beth's going to demonstrate, and this is basically the second way I teach a good low squat. If you probably recognize this exercise, we did this a lot, and basically what Beth's doing is she's just pointing her elbows, and she's just trying to get in between her legs like that. She's holding the weight in front, so that kind of acts like a counterbalance. She can get very low without losing her balance, and like I said, you want to be able to do a chair squat pretty easy before you can do this. But one of the things that squats do is it not only builds strength, but it builds a lot of mobility in the hips. You know, it builds a lot of flexibility, and that's what I like. But this exercise is really good, especially if you're still kind of new to squats. 3 or 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps, and it definitely will really work your body. Thank you, Beth.
Now, you're talking about the weight there. Obviously, you want to start off with the light weight, but if you can handle a heavier weight, is that where you make it a little
without a doubt, I
difficult?
tell people all the time the rules of progressive resistance training. If you can do more 12 reps pretty easy, you just add a little bit more weight, but be cautious because you never know exactly how hard you're working your body until the next morning.
Yeah,
So you just kind of take it easy and really focus on good form. And it's bad alignment that hurts people. It's not weight. So just make sure your technique is good.
Technique is good. Definitely good news there. All right, here's the next question from John. A new trainer at my gym says stretching is really overrated. Is this true? I always hear about this stretching. Some folks say it's really good for you. Others say it's kind of a waste of time. What do you say?
Well, it's really interesting because a lot of the major fitness organizations are changing their policy on stretching, and this has to do with a long study that goes back almost 30 years, really showing a lot of proof that stretching doesn't really decrease our injury like we once thought. And I still think stretching is important, but you can really overdo it. There's actually a lot of studies showing that stretching can actually decrease your strength. You want to look at your muscles kind of like rubber bands. They have kind of an elastic quality. So if you do too much stretching, it can actually kind of hurt your strength. I still think stretching is important, but like I said, I always tell people warming up and stretching are 2 different things. Warming up is defined as light aerobic activity for 5 to 10 minutes, really getting warmed up. I don't like seeing people hopping out of the car for an early morning run and immediately going down and stretching. That's not warming up. Jog lightly a little bit, then do some stretching, and just don't overdo it. It goes back to moderation in everything. You can overdo it on stretching just like you can overdo it with cardio and weight training.
And I'll warm up every time for about 5 or 6 minutes. Always feel better for the rest of the workout because of that quick warm-up.
Absolutely. If your warm-up's not good, your whole workout will suffer, and just remember that.
All right, and our last question, this comes from Jesse. He's asking, my low-carb diet is really hurting my workouts. Is this typical? And I know this is something we talk about. Carbs give us that type of energy. We have all those different kinds of diets out there. Tell us about this.
Well, it's unfortunate. There's so many studies backing this up that when you decrease your carbohydrates, you decrease your performance across the board, whether it's weight training, whether it's aerobic exercise. The catch-22 is, yes, watching your starches and really eliminating your carbohydrates can help you lose weight. My way of kind of getting around this is I always say include some carbohydrates, especially during the day, so your workouts won't suffer. Really limit your starches and carbohydrates on the last meal of the day. We did that for you. It was very, very successful. But that way, breakfast and lunch, you're still having some carbohydrates to get through the day, get through your work. And, by the time you get home from work, that 5 o'clock workout to the gym, you're not going to be, so sluggish. But really eliminate a lot of your carbohydrates in the last part of your meal. And I really think that's a way to kind of get the best of both worlds.
It's always a nice balance. You can always kind of work with a little bit here and there to determine whether it's going to help you.
And some people can adapt to low carb, some people can't. Some people are real sensitive to it. But like I said, just kind of play it. And like I said, low carbohydrate diets, they do work, but they can make your workout suffer. You have to find that balance.
Finding the balance, indeed. Well, Wes, thanks for those answers. And if you have a question that you'd like Wes to answer, you can just go to our Facebook page. It's KJRH TV, and you can post it on our wall, or you can call Wes at 605-6550, or you can visit him at his gym, brand new location, 51st and Memorial, behind the Walgreens.